And today is Purple Heart Day. Joining us now is Eric Lionheart, former U.S. Air Force combat controller and president of the First There Foundation. So Eric, thank you so much for being here with us today. And on Purple Heart Day, can I ask you, what is the most important message that Americans should hear about wounded veterans?
Well, thank you for having me. I think the most important message is it's sacrifice, right? I mean, that freedom costs, and usually the Purple Heart medal is nothing that a service member wants. It's awarded because of blood and most of the time it's loss of life. So I think the most important message again should be that freedom costs lives, American lives.
So as you know, Purple Heart Day commemorates August 7th, 1782, right? When George Washington created the badge of military merit. Why is it too important to remember that day in history?
Well, I think it's the oldest medal that we have, and it started off as the merit and then changed into the Purple Heart because it's such a I think it's almost it's one of the most prestigious medals, like I said earlier, because you are suffering, right? It's that sacrifice. Most people that get awarded that medal have lost blood or have lost their lives. And I think it's so important because it's not the Medal of Honor, right? I mean, and just along with Medal of Honor for courageous, the most heroic thing you can do on the battlefield, the Purple Heart is something that just costs you so much, and it caused so many people to grieve and share that pain. And most of that pain is their families.
So I'm also wondering, because you served as an Air Force combat controller, did your military experience at all shape or evolve your understanding of the Purple Heart behind sacrifice, injury, or anything related to this?
Absolutely. Before I came on, I was thinking of all my teammates that I know that have Purple Hearts. And I have 6 of them that are in Purple Hearts, Afghanistan and Iraq wars. And out of those 6, 4 of them are no longer with us. So it's the Purple Heart Day is a bittersweet day for me because I am honored that I was able to meet those men and fight alongside them. And, how lucky am I that I was able to experience this short part of their lives and fight alongside them. Now, the sad part is their families, the grieving they put us through. We put our families through a lot of grief when we go do this job.
And I want to ask you, because for some veterans, they may have injuries, but they may also have injuries that's not immediately visible, maybe not in the physical sense. How do we support these veterans?
Absolutely. You hit it right on the head. There's so many. I mean, you look at Afghanistan, 22 plus years of fighting. A lot of these veterans came back whole, but they do, PTSD, moral injuries. So I think to get to the bottom of the stories, listening to them on a day like today, seek out a veteran and ask their stories or their family members, and then support organizations like First There, my nonprofit, and organizations that give back. Our First There tries to do the best it can to get these people or these service member and their families to reclaim their mental health and become whole. So supporting organizations like that is crucial.
So for young people who may be considering, serving the country in one form or another, but they know the risks and they've seen those who have received their Purple Heart. What is your advice to them who may be thinking of serving?
Well, I think you just can't think about it. You got to go and serve your country if that's what you feel called to do. There's very few people that go serve their country, and it's an honorary thing to serve something bigger than yourself and for the right of others to have a better life. So it is the cost of freedom, like I said earlier, and I think it's just the price that none of us can predict when our time's going to be called. So for younger people, I think it's an honorable job. I think it's one of the best jobs out there. So if they feel called to do it, they should.
I just want to ask you one last question here. What is the legacy that you hope Purple Heart Day continues to preserve? 10 years, 20 years, it's been 250 years now for the next 250 years.
Well, it's to have these men and women that served, and a lot of them gave up their lives to for the better of this country. Is for them. We remember them, their legacy, right? Their names are etched in stone. Their families continue to live on. Their kids carry what they've done. Teammates like myself that can tell stories about a guy, for example, Geoff Ikert, a dear friend of mine, combat controller, did multiple combat deployments. One of the most lethal operators I know. He's a father of three, loving husband, and I love that I got to serve with this guy, and he's going to continue. He's got a Purple Heart, and I'm just blessed that he was able to serve this country, and he's a great friend of mine and teammate.
Well, all right, Eric, I can't say this enough, but we appreciate the service you have done and the work you're doing now to help veterans. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you, and thank you, NTD, for always thinking of me and the patriots that serve this country.